All right, welcome. Today, we're getting into the blueprint for your company's future. We're talking about an intelligent, automated digital workforce. Let's dive into how AI automation can completely change the way you do business.
So, does this look a little too familiar? The endless data entry, the sea of emails, all those routine follow-ups? It's a cycle that can just absolutely crush even the best teams. But what if there was a genuinely smarter way to get things done?
Here's the reality for just about every modern business. You're dealing with literal mountains of data and competition that's tougher than ever. Just relying on manual effort isn't just slow anymore. It's a trap. A trap that really limits your growth, and honestly, it just burns out your team.
This slide gets to the heart of a huge shift. See, traditional automation is super rigid. It's like a train on a track. If one little thing changes, the whole thing derails. But AI automation, that's more like a smart, all-terrain vehicle. It adapts on the fly, and it can navigate the messy, complex real world.
And that right there brings us to the core idea. AI automation isn't just about doing things faster. It's about doing things smarter. It's that perfect mix of automated systems and the decision-making power of AI. So it's not just following a rigid script, it's actually understanding context.
So, let's forget about scary robots for a second. Instead, I want you to picture a team of super efficient digital employees working for you 24/7. They handle all that grunt work, they never make typos, and they free up your actual human team to focus on what they do best. The big picture strategy, the creativity, and building real relationships.
So, the big question is, how do we actually build this digital workforce? You might think this sounds super complicated, but the logic behind it is actually pretty straightforward. Let's break it down with a simple example we can all relate to.
Okay, so let's ground this in something we've all done, right? You're on a website, you like a product, so you fill out a contact form. In the old way of doing things, that kicks off a whole manual chain of events for someone on your team. But with AI automation, that simple click becomes the first domino in a totally seamless, intelligent process.
All right, so here's the play-by-play. The form submission, that's the trigger. Instantly, an AI model reads the message. And it's not just looking for keywords, it's understanding the intent. Is this person ready to buy right now, or are they just asking a question? Based on that, the system uses logic to qualify the lead, and then, bam, it executes the output. A personalized email goes out. Your sales team gets a ping with all the important info. And this all happens in like a matter of seconds.
So that trigger, it's basically the starting gun for any automation. It's the if this happens part of the whole equation. And they can be pretty much anything. A customer filling out a form, a new email hitting your inbox, or even just a new record being added to your database.
Now for the really cool part, the AI model. This is the brain of the whole operation. You give it data, like the text from that form, and then you give it specific instructions. We call those prompts. And the quality of your prompt is everything. It tells the AI how to think about the information and what to do next. This is what puts the smart in smart automation.
Okay, but how do all these different pieces of software, your website, your CRM, your email, actually talk to each other? Well, they do it through APIs. The best way to think about an API is like a waiter in a restaurant. You don't just walk into the kitchen and start yelling your order, right? No, you tell the waiter, who then communicates perfectly with the kitchen and brings your food back. APIs do exactly that, but for your software.
Okay, so that's the how. We've got the trigger, the AI brain, and the APIs connecting everything. But what does this actually do for a business? Let's look at how these pieces come together to create some real-world impact.
Let's talk sales. For them, this is an absolute game changer. Just imagine every single new lead getting qualified and nurtured instantly. Your CRM is always perfectly up to date. Follow-ups go out without anyone having to think about it. This doesn't replace your salespeople, it gives them superpowers, freeing them up from the boring admin stuff so they can focus on closing deals.
And that same power extends to marketing and support. For marketers, the AI helps you hit the right person with the right message at the perfect time. And for support, it can answer all the common questions instantly and make sure the tricky issues get routed to exactly the right expert on your team. That means happier customers for sure.
But at the end of the day, what's the bottom line? What's the ROI here? Well, you're not just buying a tool, you're buying back time. You're cutting down on costly human errors, and you're building a system that can grow with your business without having to hire a new person for every single new task. That's how you scale.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, this sounds amazing, but where do I even start? Well, the good news is it's way more accessible than you'd think. Let's walk through a simple blueprint to get your first automation project off the ground.
All right, here's the #1 rule. Don't try to boil the ocean.
Just pick one process, something that's repetitive, maybe a little annoying, but has a high impact. Define exactly what success looks like for that one task. Then you build it, you watch it, and you tweak it. Automation is all about starting small, learning, and then building on that success.
And speaking of getting started, let's talk about a few common pitfalls you'll want to avoid. The biggest one, like we said, is trying to automate everything all at once. Another is writing bad prompts. Remember, the AI is only as smart as the instructions you give it. And maybe the most important thing? Always know when to keep a human in the loop for those really critical judgment calls.
So what's the very first step you should take? It's actually super simple. Just sit down with your team and ask a question. What are the repetitive, time-sucking tasks that are holding us back? Find the biggest bottleneck. And that's it. That's your first target. And really, that's the question I want to lead you with. Take a second and really think about it for your own work. Is it qualifying leads, answering support tickets, generating reports?